Hey everybody, I wanted to make this video so I could introduce my wife, Laura. You may have heard her in some of the other videos, but I also wanted her to tell her perspective of getting the Tesla, because I think it's pretty funny.
Okay, so this is what happens from my perspective. Hey, I'm Laura. So I went out of town for the weekend to California with my family, and while I was gone, Tyler's left home alone with money in the bank, right? That's the worst problem to have for a guy, because you know this is my perspective, they resort back to like bachelorhood. They're like, oh yeah, why haven't I bought something nice for myself? Like, right? Mind you, before owning the Tesla, we had like a Camry hybrid, like, you know, the most conventional car that you could ever have. And so I'm out there, and what starts to happen is Tyler sends me all these different pictures. What do you think of this one? And I'm like, what's going on? What's going on? Like, it was like 3 or 4 different pictures of Teslas. And so I call him that night, and I was like, so what's going on? Like, yeah, just looking at some things. I went and test drove. Test drive. Okay, that's serious, right? Like, you don't just like, you're not browsing anymore. You're not perusing. He decided to go test drive a few different models and a few different things. He actually did test drive the one that we ended up purchasing. But, you know, so I knew he was serious about it. And then, you know, he just kept researching, kept looking at a few different things, and I think it was like a week later, he's like, okay, this one's actually a really good deal. It has everything that you wanted, you know, the tinting and the powder coating and all the chrome delete and everything like that. That was really nice. And so he took me to go test drive, and that was actually the first time I drove a Tesla. So we drove a couple before, but I hadn't drove, and
I just accelerated with her in the car, and she was like, did you mean to do that? She's like gripping the sides of the door and everything. And mind you, she's telling this story about money in the bank and then bachelorhood. At the same time, when I saw the Tesla truck was going on sale and I was pre-ordering it, I'm like, okay, she'd probably be okay with the dual motor. And she walks in and she's like, no, we're getting the triple motor. We want that 500-mile range. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, you really had to twist my arm for that one.
Yeah, it's really funny, because anytime I tell him to like look at something, if we're gonna like purchase something, I like the nicest things, you know. But at the same time, it was just one of those things. But Tyler did a good job. He researched it. He really looked into the things that he wanted, and I think he made it a good decision. It ends up being something that's nice. We haven't put gas in a vehicle for forever, and yeah, just enjoyed having it. And his thing with me is like, he'll like randomly accelerate like while I'm doing stuff, and it's terrible. Like, what a terrible thing to do to your wife, right? Like, he just will like take off, and I'm like, oh, what the heck? Like, and my phone like flies back. Or
my favorite is her phone flipped in the back one of the times, because she was getting ready to like adjust it, and then it just right past her head. So
yeah. So there, you know, there's something you can try on your spouse, right?